As a Chinese but working for a Western think tank, I observe a lot of Chinese companies are not sure how to deal with the civil society pressure to engage. Many Western NGOs are not able to access Chinese players, whether they are the embassies in African countries or Chinese companies or the Chinese government players back in China. And for the Chinese players part, they're really not used to speaking to non-state actors. They are used to doing business in China, talking to the government, sealing the deal, and operating without any problem. But they would benefit greatly from learning that model because China obviously in itself also has issues with relocations and environmental impacts in domestic investment. I speak quite frequently to African policymakers, especially forestry departments in the governments, and they are very wary of the environmental impacts that come with large infrastructure projects. There is a negative perception that there is not enough social or environmental safeguards. I think the starting point from our strategy is to bring some of the research community together, bringing in Chinese researchers and African researchers to co-produce the knowledge and the evidence base that NGOs or others can take forward to promote better investment. About 90% of employment in some countries in sub-Saharan Africa come from the informal sector. And we are looking at specifically how Chinese private companies play a role in the informal economy. How do they interact with these usually marginalized actors, African, rural, poor, women, young people who work in this informal sector? I think the research so far on the social and environmental impacts have largely focused on macro level big investment projects or state-owned enterprises. And now we need to look at if these small-scale trade investment by Chinese actors are really affecting the rural communities. What are they? What are the impacts? And how can we make it better?